Hey guys, it's Francina Simone with writing tips on how to improve your writing. So today is about how to set scene, and that means the atmosphere of the scene and the locality of places. And this actually came in through a request. Woohoo! I'm so excited. It's my first request video ever. So I'm going to ride on this joy for the rest of my life. And so I'm just going to go ahead and start the world building series so I can throw this into that playlist. And we'll just add some videos as we go along. Let's talk about how to set scene. First, let's talk about what is scene and how it affects your story. So scene is essentially everything that involves the mood and the physical location of things, the way that the world looks, or the particular scene looks in your story, where your character is, if they're at the mountains, in the pyramids, or in just a regular room, their bedroom, where they are and how they feel about where they are, or how they feel about a situation in general in their location. And this affects your story because it makes it that much better. If you have authentic characters and authentic plots, that's, the greatest fucking hamburger. But setting the scene in your world, your authentic world, makes your good ass hamburger juicy and delicious. So you need all of those elements to make a really great story. And so that's why scene is just as important as character and plot. Let's talk about how to set those things. So I have 4 steps on how to set a good scene. The first thing you have to do is know the mood and know the sets in your scene. Know where they're going, what's supposed to be happening. I mean, you could just write the whole thing and it'd be crazy and crappy and in your first draft, but when you go to revise, you need to know, especially during revision, you need to know what the mood is and you need to know the sets involved and how your character is going to interact with them. Which leads us to step number 2, know your character. Once you revise, you have to know your character. You have to know them inside and out. And if you do, you'll have their voice on your paper. And your reader will be able to experience everything that they're experiencing because it is through them. You can't give someone else's experience in your own words. You have to give someone else's experience in their words. You get what I'm saying? So know your character. That is extremely vital. And honestly, you don't have to do this in your first draft, but you do have to do it when you revise. And step number 3, ask about what your character is about to experience and then blend that into your scene. Or I should say blend your scene into your action. So know the plot. When you revise your story, you need to know what is happening. What is the plot? What is the experience that is significant in this scene? And then warp your scene around that. Because again, like I was mentioning at the coffee shop, ain't nobody gonna care about the coffee beans on the wall if somebody's getting stabbed over in the corner. So always make sure that your scene is being warped by the experience and the way your character is experiencing that experience, not just what's happening, but how your character is experiencing the experience. Warp it around that. That is so crazy to say. And number 4, this is essentially just like number 3, except for it's a stark reminder. Only add the elements that capture that scene. So you know how they say everybody has a perspective on life and their perspective is different from somebody else's. This goes the same for books. If your book follows an individual, you need to make sure that you are only capturing what your character needs to experience or what your character is experiencing or how they feel. So for instance, if the scene is extremely intense and the atmosphere and the mood is tense and like action or something scary is about to happen or people are running for their lives, nobody needs to look over at the other main character and be like, you know what, I could just kiss you right now. No, that does not happen. People do not kiss other people in high intense moments like that because your mind is focused on something completely different. So make sure to only add elements that capture the experience at hand. Don't be adding nothing else from them scenes or be putting stuff in sets like a dog that has nothing to do with the story just because you think dogs are cute and you want a dog to run by. That has nothing to do with anything. That's distracting, especially if these two characters are breaking up. Nobody cares about the dog that's running by unless that dog knocks somebody over and she busts her tooth and then it's like, well, he broke out with me and I busted my tooth in the same day. Unless that's gonna happen, we don't need anything else in the scene. We just need to focus on that experience and the elements involved with that experience. Now, however, if she does see a dog and he's all dejected looking and homeless and scraggly, then maybe that's how she feels. You can add a dog then. So anyways, guys, that wraps up this whole video on how to set scene. I hope that you found this really helpful. I hope that I was not confusing because a lot of times I feel like the concepts that I talk about, because they're so intertwined and so like intertangled with each other, it's so hard to pull them apart and talk about them like by themselves without talking about the other ones too and how they affect it. It's like they're doing each other constantly. Anyways, I'm sorry. What am I talking about? So anyways, I really hope you found it helpful. Leave me any comments below if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions on other videos. Yes, I need more suggestions. But seriously, if you do need any clarifications, you could always tweet me at Francina Simone. I am always up for chatting. Or I'm also on Bookimino. That app is so fun. I'm going to start plugging that bitch. Anyways. And of course, don't forget to subscribe right there. Just hit that button down there, right? Just hit the button. Just hit the button. Just hit the button. Okay, bye.